Serum 2 is the gift that keeps on giving because it's so fun to play with. In this video today, I'm going to show you this patch I created that's just one patch and how much variety it has, how cool it is, and I'll even be giving it away on my Patreon down below if you guys want to snag it. So let's get into it. It is a very tonal, high-pitched type of chug bass, and I'll show you the quick little drop I made just using the patch itself. So obviously that's the patch. This is all the effects in it. Everything is done in Serum. So let's get into the patch real quick and kind of go over it. It's, like I said, as the title shows, it's a tonal chuggish gun. It's kind of a hybrid of everything. Fundamentally, it's very simple. We have a sub that is going to be having some attack on the chorus pitch right here. That can be changed with sub decay right here to make it kind of longer or shorter up to your par. Next thing is just ivory perk. It's just a percussion. This is the meat of bass, so let's find it real quick. Ivory like 6. That's where we started with. Remember, this is where we got to. Really cool. So once again, we're doing spectral warping. I'm doing detune once again, which I'm controlling with the knob, and you can see that I'm actually playing with quite a bit of these macros. I'm using all 8 because dude gave it to us. I'm going to use it. Come on now. And I'm just using one shot. Scan speed can also be affected here, and it creates kind of a different sound here. So I'm playing with that. So if you're doing really quick, you might be able to pair that with, say, like the LFO and all that. So you get cool different tones. This render is actually very interesting. Before I completed it, I rendered this by just going into menu and hitting render or resample to Oscillator C, and it is the mono signal. It sounds like this by itself through the processing, kind of adding the tail almost. And we can do different stuff with this. It's just pretty much adding like a detune layer. One higher up there. Kind of that high-end grit, obviously white noise as well, going into combs, and combs being affected by this guy, which if you change this, you can do different stuff. Add it later. There's a lot of cool stuff you can actually do with this. I'm going to put it back to, I believe, how it was before. I don't really recall, but I think it was something like this. I want to say it was something like that. Obviously, with combs, it's doing a lot. And then the effects is where a lot of this is happening as well. Notes that this is LFO2 is affecting the chorus as well in this, which we can change with different LFOs. We can create a lot of different tones just by sliding this. Same if you move the sub, it just kind of activates when the chorus is going to pitch up. Combine all 3 of those together, you can get really unique results. So, effects. There's a lot. Compressor, OTT, all the way. Gained up. We have a 4-stack overdrive. There's a ton of distortion in this patch. Filter of a combs. Adding the tone. Next in our high split, we have delay, come over, distort. Well, one distortion is not being used. One distortion and one EQ. So delay, come over is using this. Just kind of helping, once again, control the highs. I like to use this as controlling the highs and a little bit of tone as well. Then we have the downsample, which actually does quite a bit. Just adding kind of that really cool tonal sound. and I'm putting it in pre-filtering, and the EQ is just eliminating any low end we could have built up with this distortion and all that. And I also have a delay, which you can make more metallic if you wanted to. It's really good on those like quarter notes if you want that like sustain. It's kind of tuned to around E right now, but you can play with that however you want. Low end, what do we have in low end? We just have a utility just making it mono, just keeping it mono, and that's really it. From there we have a low pass filter, which arguably we might be able to even compressor, bring it all back together. Pretty stock. I'd actually lower the attack just a little higher. Don't want to take too much of the transient away. Next we have a traditional tube, just doing a little bit, kind of bringing it together. And then we have this X shaper, which is actually makes it quieter the more I drive. I turn it up. So I just did that in X shaper, just routed that way up, that way down. Cool stuff. After that, boosting the sub. I'm pulling the highs a little bit, which probably come down. And this one's just preventing all the mud. So we're just using it to control, which is super nice to have all these EQs in here afterwards. Now the cool thing about this, you could also do other stuff to this patch. Say you wanted to like play with the tonal of this. You could go to your matrix, go to LFO4, and you can have this affect the master tune, which is really fun. And that's going to be all the way down in global here. Main tuning is what it's called now. You can do different stuff. We could have it actually go bipolar. Option shift or alt shift, I believe, or control shift on. When you do bipolar, make sure this is your normal sound. So right now I'm going below, and we can also just type what we want. Say we wanted to go up an octave, so 12 ST. So let's set that. You can do crazy stuff. You kind of get all of that. So there's so much to do with this. You can also change out the percussion in it. So we have 6, right? Something like that. I wonder if that. What happens if you slow down the scan speed? Fun fact, you can also get rid of the highs and lows of your sample, like this. Get rid of the low. That's cool. What else can we do with this? Bring this back. So many cool different things you can get here. Let's try like another perk here, or we can even try. Obviously, you can see I'm having a freaking blast. So once again, if you guys want to grab this, you can join Patreon. I hope you guys learned something in this routing of how I did this patch, and expect more Serum 2 tutorials to come. And if you enjoy Serum 2 tutorials, make sure you subscribe. I'm going to make in tons of different basses and all that, guys, for you to learn. And I hope you have a good day. Create something new. Take care. Bye, guys.